Welcome fans to Carver Gymnasium for this evening's match featuring the University of Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks as they take on your Western Washington University Vikings. Fans, at this time, if you would please rise and remove your caps, we will honor America with the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Western Washington University Pep Band. Fans, now for our team lineups. First, from our visiting Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks, here is the team lineups. Welcome to the court. Number 2, Janaisha Carr. Number 3, Maureen Angeli. Number 7, Kinley Erickson. Number 11, Symphony Henderson. Number 12, Kelly Wright. Number 14, Ella Bynes. And number 21, Taylor Overn. Fans, this evening's starting lineup for the Nanooks is announced by their head coach, Brian Scott. Coach Scott is assisted by Megan Woods, Kate Atkins, and Emily Moorhead. Fans, here are the starters. Welcome to the court, number 1, Elena Guck. Number 4, Elizabeth Jackson. Number 6, Carly Nielsen. Number 10, Riley White. Number 15, Christina Head. Number 17, Ainsley Smith. And the libero, number 16, Jessa Long. Fans, these are the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks. Viking fans, are you ready?
Tries, now I'm cutting ties. This my life, yo, entertainment. I want the money, being famous. YSU 53 still banging. Sick of these niggas, put me in containment. Umbrella in the roads, catch it rain. Going wherever the money take me. All is forever, that'll never change. Don't think about it, but I miss my
I want the spot. I got what it takes to get to the top. The money I make, cannot compete. They know that I'm getting a lot. They call it up, I'm getting a lot. I know she a thot, she give her a shot. I'm pulling back to the twist of my shot.
Fans, now here is your team lineup for the number 10 ranked Western Washington University Vikings. Fans, welcome first our redshirt players. Finley Clays, Caroline Hansen, Morgan Harrison, Anu Lopez, Delaney Spear, Emily Vassenkuhl, and Asia Stewart. Fans, now here are the team lineups for the Vikings. Welcome to the court, number 4, Anna Vanderyacht. Number 5, Kylie Honrud. Number 8, Tupu Lologo. Number 10, Devin Ostrich. Number 13, Olivia Fairchild. Number 14, Abby May. Number 15, Carly Try. Number 16, Janelle Grant. And number 19, Adele Holland. Fans, now for your starting lineup from the Western Washington University Vikings, as announced by our head coach, Diane Flick Williams. Coach Flick Williams is assisted by James Suh, Michaela Hall, Chris Leverins, and Brad Sainden. Fans, welcome to the court, a 6-foot senior from Auburn, number 3, Anna Marisic. A 5'7" senior from Burien, number 6, Malia Aliaga. A 5'11" sophomore from Bothell, number 11, Gabby Kepley. A 6-foot senior from Duval, number 12, Chloe Ritzesender. A 6'1" senior from Auburn, number 18, Callie Heilborn. A 5'10" senior from Lake Stevens, number 22, Gabby Gunterman. And a 5'6" senior from University Place, our libero, number 1, Casey Woodruff. Fans, these are your Western Washington Vikings!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WECU Court on the campus of Western Washington University for this GNAC battle between Western Washington University and the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I'm Sean Church alongside Zen Hill. Vikings come into this match with a record of 14-4 and 9-1 in GNAC play. The Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks come into this match with a 15-8 record and 5-6 in GNAC play. Zed, it should be a pretty good matchup tonight between these two squads.
Yes, it is, and we saw them face off earlier this year back in September. That was September 24th when they were in Alaska. WWU won in 4 sets. That was pretty dominant for that. That's when they recorded their 1,000th win on the season. They're coming off a game versus Simon Fraser that went into 5 sets, which is unlikely for them as they swept them at home earlier this season. Vikings going to dial it back in, though, here at home, back in Carver. We know the success they have here, and they're ready to go in front of these fans.
And first serve underway here in just a few moments on the starting lineup for the Vikings. Got Anna Marisic starting for the Vikings here tonight. The senior, also out of Auburn Riverside. The other 5 starting today, Gabby Kepley, as well as Malia Aliaga, Callie Heilborn, Gabby Gunterman. And this will be served underway here, little barrel being Casey Woodruff, and a first point for Alaska Fairbanks. They lead by 1.
So for the Vikings right now, we're seeing Anna Marisic out there for her. She's only played 17 sets on the season. She made her appearance in their last game versus Simon Fraser, but makes a start here.
And Alaska comes out ahead 2-0 to start. Fairbanks right now. Ainsley Smith is going to serve for him. They're wearing black with the yellow lettering. They're up by 2, but they serve here. Right-handed serve, and it goes long, so that's good eye by Casey Woodruff and the Vikings. They're down by 1.
So Fairbanks comes into this game. They're ranked 6th in the GNAC, but it's very misleading as Alaska in the GNAC is 1st in team assists, 1st in team digs, 1st in team kills, 1st in team aces and team total attacks and team total blocks. They just haven't found the success in the game, maybe making errors, but they're a strong team despite being ranked so low.
A lot of tough match losses for them during the season. Gabby Kepley goes for the lefty, and that's right there, blocked. Out of system play. Kepley goes for it again, and that one is dug out. Set to the corner. Heilborn right there. Aliaga. Good timing play for Ritzesender. And that's good hustle by Fairbanks, but that's going to be 4 hits. Vikings, 2 straight points. It's tied at 2.
Ritza Center in the last game coming off 12 kills, getting it started here, setting the offensive tone for the Vikings.
Abby May with the serve here, and she gets the ace. Vikings, 3 straight points. They lead by 1. And Abby May is going to serve again here for the Vikings. Abby May. Sophomore gets ready for the serve. She's one of the rare non-red shirts having to give up her red shirt last season when Malia Aliaga was out with a concussion. The Vikings with a great block here at the net. That's 4 straight points. They're up by 2.
Chloe Ritzesender once again. She's averaging 1.27 blocks per set. That's a team high. Second in the GNAC also.
Midway serve again for Abby May, and she's going to get another ace to her credit. So Fairbanks started out up 2-0 for the Vikings with 5 straight points. They lead by 3.
So against Simon Fraser, the Vikings recorded a season high 15 service aces. That's tied for the second most by GNAC team this season. Starting off hot here from Abby May, though.
And May gets ready to start here. Another good serve. This one handled better by Fairbanks. And they get it through. Elizabeth Jackson, the sophomore from Graham, North Carolina. That is a far flight up to Alaska. Fairbanks now down by 2.
Elizabeth Jackson, a defensive specialist for Fairbanks, finds herself on the attack right there.
That one goes long. So Riley White with the service error. And the Vikings are now up by 3, and Zen, maybe this is where you might see some of those mistakes that Fairbanks have made throughout the season and why they're in the middle of the pack in the GNAC.
It's unfortunate for them, too, also coming off the hand of Riley White, who has really been a star for them from the service, but finds an error there that Fairbanks cannot afford here at home.
Usually teams that lead their respective league in that many categories are not in the middle of the pack. But the Vikings are up 7-3 now, and Tupu Logo is going to serve.
Yeah, for instance, you see the Vikings are ranked about 4th in the GNAC in almost every major statistical category, yet they find themselves in 2nd, so never able to fully tell based off just the stats.
Minimize the errors. That's another good serve by Logo on the attack. And it was deflected, and it gets in there. And that was number 6, Carly Nielsen, with the kill. Fairbanks down 3.
Carly Nielsen coming off a 15-kill game versus Seattle Pacific where Fairbanks won.
Knuckles it over there. Woodruff Aliaga over the Ritzesender, deflects and goes out of bounds. Vikings up by 4.
Ritzesender found herself being the team's main scorer. She's responsible for 220 points on the year, 2.55 kills per set.
And Gunterman with the serve. That one into the net. So the Vikings are up 9-4 here, up by 5 early.
Fairbanks just unable to get it over to the Vikings side. Vikings getting some good serves out there, causing some errors from the Nanooks, and Vikings are out front early.
That's another good serve. No ace, but it was a good setup. But that was a good recovery by Fairbanks. They're now down by 4. Number 21, Taylor Overn, the senior from Portland, Oregon, is going to serve for the Nanooks. Out of system play here. Heilborn goes for the middle of the court. It's deflected, but it goes out of bounds, so point Vikings. They're up 5.
And that was Callie Heilborn. She just entered the 1,000 dig and 1,000 kill club on their road trip. She's one of only 6 players in WWU history to record that, along with her fellow teammate, Gabby Gunterman.
She was so close to getting that record at home, but unfortunately she did it on the road, but she'll take it anywhere, and the Vikings are up by 6.
And looking at her, she has a chance this season to climb into the top 10 for all-time kills, and WWU history. Right now holding that 10th spot is Chrissy Sursley with 1,098 kills.
That one goes into the net. Sorry about that, Zed.
You're all good. Halborn's at 1,032, so she's 66 short. We've still got 8 GNAC games left, including this one, so definitely a possibility for her to hit this in her senior year.
And sometimes you'll see Heilborn just go off in a match, especially if it goes 5 sets, which we could see on Saturday, even today for that matter. The Vikings get the point. They have doubled up the Nanooks, 12-6.
And it was Malia Aliaga at the net there, forcing it over.
And she is going to serve here for the Vikings. 5 seniors on the court, 1 sophomore. Tapped over, Heilborn right there. Aliaga tries to just save it, but I think it kind of slipped off her hand, but ended up being in a great spot, out of system play. Good set by Marisic on that one, and that one dug out. Heilborn on the attack, and she gets it right in the middle of the court. Vikings up 13-6.
Just along for Fairbanks, just unable to dig that out. She's the reigning GNAC Defensive Player of the Week. That's the 3rd time she's earned that honor this season. Unable to get it there, and the Vikings are pulling away.
Right off the top of the net and gets in there, so Fairbanks with the point. Christina Head, the sophomore, gets the point. They're down 6.
I mean, they'll take any point where they can find it, even if it wasn't the prettiest attack. They need it. Nanooks trailing by 6.
And Head is going to serve again. Aliaga over the Marisic. And Marisic is going to record her first kill of the match. Anna Marisic, teammates with Callie Heilborn at the Powerhouse High School for Volleyball, Auburn Riverside. Vikings up by 7.
So we saw Marisic get 5 kills. She played all 5 sets last match. So getting into that rotation for the Vikings.
Elizabeth Jackson with the kill. The Nooks now down by 6 as we got some subs on the floor here. Ainsley Smith back in the match, as well as Elena Guck for the Nanooks, and Smith is going to serve. Good serve by Smith as she gets the ace. That one just died, went right over the net, dropped off the table. 2 straight points for the Nanooks. Caught Gunterman a little bit handcuffed there, and that's a good block back, and that's 3 straight points. So Alaska Fairbanks jumping right back into this. They're down 4.
2 straight times that Gunterman didn't get the touch that she wanted.
Looks like on that serve, kind of got her in between trying to bump it or set it. And Smith is going to serve it again, the redshirt freshman from North Pole, Alaska.
She's got herself 28 service aces also, so a star.
And another block. That one at the net. That was Jackson and Henderson, Symphony Henderson, the freshman. As Fairbanks, they've recorded 4 straight points. They're on a 4-0 run, and they're down 3. As that one goes through and Marisic gets another kill, Vikings stop the run. They're up 4. And Abby May is going to serve. Midway serve right in the middle of the court there. And a great job by Fairbanks to bounce back. Elizabeth Jackson with the kill for the rotation. Marisic comes back out. You got Rittisender, Aliaga, Gunterman, Kepley, Heilborn, and Woodruff on the court for the Vikings now.
We've seen Jackson all over this game so far for the Nanooks, and she's keeping them in this game.
And a great job at the net by Kepley. I don't know if that one went over or not, but she was right there. You can see here on this replay, looks like it wasn't touched, so it looks like it was maybe a setting error. Vikings up by 4.
Just a miscue by Fairbanks there on that play.
16-12. Tupelo Logo back in the match to serve here. And that's a great dig by Heilborn. That just about hit the ground. But a great job by Fairbanks to bounce back. That was Carly Nielsen with the kill. And Fairbanks now down 3.
So after a dominating start, the Vikings have slowed down and allowed Fairbanks to climb back into this game. They've got to regain that control if they want to take the first set.
Vikings were up 14-7. A good bounce back by the Vikings, and they're trading points, but the Vikings were up 14-7 since then. It's been a 7-3 run to get back into it, but good job by Ritza Center and the Vikings to get that point there, and Gunterman's going to serve.
Yeah, they went back to doing what worked best earlier in this match so far, going to Ritza Center.
And that was good timing by Heilborn and Ritza Center, but to no avail as Fairbanks bounces right back with a point of their own. Both teams switching points here. Vikings now only up 3. That's a good serve here. Aliaga over the Heilborn, and that's a good dig. Jessa Long again. That one goes wide. So a perfect opportunity to make it a 2-point game, but unfortunately Elizabeth Jackson's hit goes wide. Vikings up by 4 now.
Saw Jessa Long there for Fairbanks. She is a registered freshman on the stat sheet, but she's actually a graduate student coming from a D1 school in Florida A&M.
That's a good dig by Tupulogo. And just a miss hit by Aliaga. She shrugs her shoulders. Don't see that happen very often, as you can see in this replay. That kind of looks like my set all the time. As Carly Nielsen's going to serve.
Rare miscue right there for Aliaga.
Her rare miscue is my common miscue.
Me as well.
That's a great dig by Gunterman, and tapped over by Aliaga behind her back. And that's what makes Aliaga so good. She has a short memory, and after having that miscue as that set, she decides to put matters into her own hands, and she gets the kill. Vikings up 4.
Seems like nothing can ever shake these Vikings players. They always shrug off everything. They know they're going to get it back, and Aliaga gets that one back for her team.
With the veteran team that they have, the 9 seniors, they've seen it all, and they've been through it all. As Fairbanks gets a point, they're down 3, and they're sticking in this thing. One short little run, and they could potentially take this set. That was Ella Bynes, the redshirt freshman from Orlando. A lot of people from this squad from the southern United States, or at least coming from there at one point. Deflected.
You have the North Pole also coming in there
That's
to balance
true.
everything out.
That's true. Not the South Pole, that one's the North Pole. And that was a great pancake by Fairbanks. And this is a fantastic rally. And a great job. Ella Bynes, the lefty southpaw, puts it away. And Fairbanks now only down 2. Coach Brian Scott doing a good job with this team here, getting them back in. That one dug out. Lefty again, and it gets through. Ella Bynes. This came off the bench with 3 kills. The Vikings are only up 1 here.
Last time these teams faced off, Fairbanks did steal a set. That was in the 3rd set of that match, though. Have a chance to take the first one, maybe.
And an unfortunate error by Fairbanks. I guess it would be a break for the Vikings as Christina Head hits it wide on the serve. So the Vikings up 2 now.
It's been the story for Fairbanks so far. 3 service errors giving away those points. If they didn't make those errors, it could be a totally different game here.
And no one is stopping Ella Bynes right now. She is absolutely on fire. Just like that, she has a game-high 4 kills to her credit, and Fairbanks is down 1. Tied for a game-high lead with Elizabeth Jackson. Ainsley Smith with the serve. Kepley, the other lefty, that one goes long, but it was deflected. And I don't know about you, Zan, but I did not see a deflection there at all.
Didn't seem like it to me. Brian Scott looking to use the challenge here, I think.
And this is a big-time challenge here, and a good move by Brian Scott, because this could really change things. Vikings, if the call on the court stands, it is 21-19, but if it's able to get overturned, we are tied here at 20.
And looking at the game so far for the Nanooks, we've seen Ella Bynes, who's coming off a hot game versus Seattle Pacific. She had 13 kills. That is her career and season high. She was a freshman, of course. She's starting off hot here against the Vikings already, and Vikings got to find an answer to her, or they're going to stick around in this game a lot more than the Vikings want them to.
And you can definitely see throughout this first set, not necessarily at the start, but coming on at the end here before the timeout, why Alaska Fairbanks should have a better record than the record that they have, because they are tough at the net, they are tough on the attack, and this challenge makes a huge difference here. Like mentioned before, if the call on the court stands, it's 21-19. If it gets overturned, they're tied at 20 serving. And we only saw 1 or 2 replays on it, but it did not look like it was deflected from my point of view, but I also have not seen another replay here. It's also got to be indisputable evidence to overturn it, how replay should be, not necessarily how the NFL does it, or MLB for that matter, but here at WECU Court, that's how it works. Let's see what happens here. And it is changed. So the call is overturned, tied at 20. So Ainsley Smith is going to serve to try to put Fairbanks in the lead as they're on a 13-6 run.
Who else would you want serving?
Woodruff, Aliaga, Kepley, and a clutch kill by Kepley. And that was a great set by Aliaga. Vikings up 1.
That's the only lefty on the team right there for the Vikings, coming off a 17-kill game versus Simon Frazier. Huge point for the Vikings.
Abby May going to serve here, and Vikings thought, hey, if it works for Ella Bynes, the lefty, let's get it to our lefty. I don't think that's literally what they're thinking, but, you know, I thought about it.
Coming from a left-hander, I appreciate the notice.
Coming from a right-hander, I don't know how you guys think. And a great job by the Vikings. Bounce back with 2 straight points. And Zen, sometimes what these challenges do, even though that was a great challenge by Brian Scott and a successful one at that is also a free timeout at the same time. Looks like the Vikings have regrouped since then.
Seems like it almost killed the momentum that we saw the Nanooks having.
Wouldn't do it any other way, though. That's why we have challenges here at WECU Court. Trying to get back into it. Riley White with the kill.
Seen this a couple times in the match. The Vikings just unable to succeed on their block attempts, and that's what's really keeping Fairbanks in this game. Their attacks have been well, and a team that we're used to seeing play above the net very well, and the Vikings have struggled so far in this first set.
And White is going to serve here. Aliaga, behind your back to Kepley. That one goes wide. And there's going to be a timeout on the floor, and we're going to keep things here. This is the first official timeout of the match, but it is tied here at 22. And Alaska Fairbanks maybe had that momentum, not necessarily die, but definitely got halted a little bit, but they came back with 2 straight points. Vikings trying to take this first set, but Fairbanks trying to steal this first set. And Zen, it's been shown on the calendar that the big match of the week is going to be on Saturday against Alaska Anchorage, 7 p.m. here at WECU Court. But Vikings have a long ways to go to get there because Fairbanks has came to play.
Yeah, when the Vikings look at their schedule, of course, they see the number 9 ranked Alaska Anchorage, and they think that's who we're focusing on our Alaska trips and when they come to here in WECU Court. But Fairbanks are holding their own right now, and the Vikings have won 26 consecutive matches versus the Nanooks. That dates back to 2008, and that's a perfect 25-0 record in home games also versus Fairbanks. So, competitive match so far.
And for the first time all night, besides the first 2 points of the match, since a 2-0 lead by Alaska Fairbanks, they have the lead, and they are in the driver's seat.
What a turn.
Another good serve here. Kepley a little bit behind. The Nooks in great position here. A little bit of miscommunication. They're going to get a double hit here. So a break for the Vikings, and we're tied here at 23.
Super unfortunate for the Nanooks there. Now we have Tupu Lulogo coming in to serve for the Vikings. She had 6 service aces versus Simon Fraser. That's her career high.
And Lulogo with the serve. Good serve by the senior. Great attack, and that's a great dig by Woodruff. Aliaga over to Gunchman, goes for the middle of the court, and that is a clutch move by the senior. Not going with the power move, going with the placement, seeing the spot on the court, and the Vikings are at set point. We're going to go to another timeout here. Coach Brian Scott trying to talk things over. Vikings 1 point away from taking this first set, and so far, Zen, this has been a really entertaining first set.
It has, and seeing that the Vikings are ranked 10th nationally and Fairbanks, of course, unranked, you would expect this to be a lot more dominant match than it is, but Fairbanks has really held their own so far. I mean, they're a really good team. They just haven't shown it on their record so far this season. Vikings 9-1. They find themselves being nationally ranked for the 131st consecutive poll. That dates back to 2012. 57 of those poll rankings have put them in the top 10 as well. They found themselves dancing around that top 10, climb back into it this week after a strong outing on the away, and they come back into Carver Gym where they've been somewhat unstoppable, and Fairbanks has really taken Vikings to the limit in this first set, and this could be a huge momentum swing for Fairbanks if they win, and the Vikings if they can dial in their home court advantage.
And did you say 2012?
2012, yes.
I think I just got a reality check. That was my freshman year in college. Not that I'm old, but it definitely felt like that was way sooner than 10 years. Tupu Lulogo serving for a set point here. Good serve by Lulogo. And a great job by Fairbanks to bounce back from that timeout. Carly Nielsen gets the kill, and we are tied here at 24. And serving it for the Nanooks. Jessa Long. Ritzesender sends it through. And I didn't see what happened there, but apparently it went over the net and then hit a leg and went under. I'm not sure. We'll see the replay here.
Yeah, I missed it too. I thought it was going to be point Nanooks, but no, Vikings, yep.
Just add it to the list of things I shouldn't be, which is an official. Gunterman, set point here. And that's a great dig by Woodruff. My goodness. Cross court. Nielsen, another dig by Lulogo. Gunterman for the set, and a great job again. Nielsen goes for the corner. Gunterman right there. Aliaga tipped over. Looked like a little bit of a miss jump. And another good rally all around. Tapped over. Woodruff rather. Out of system play. Gunterman for the set, and we have another rally here. I'm losing my mind. A pancake to save it. And another dig. My goodness. Right in the middle, Woodruff taps it over. Aliaga, Heilborn, another dig. My goodness. And another block. What is going on? Tapped over, one of the longest sets or rallies I've ever seen, and that one goes out. That was absolutely insane. know what just happened, but that was the best rally I've ever seen in person.
What a way to end the first set, and totally encaptures the way that these two teams have played so far. That was ridiculous. The defense, the offense, I don't know how they were keeping that alive, but that was insane.
And we go on to the second set, and believe it or not, that was just one set of volleyball. Vikings take the first set, 26-24. We'll be back in a couple minutes with the second set.
My name is Morgan Paris-Lanza. I'm the executive director and one of the founding organizers of Bellingham Girls Rock Camp. Not only is it an opportunity for kids to learn music, write a song, express themselves, but they also gain these leadership skills that they might not get in other places. It's a program, it's a culture as well as an entire movement, and we really want everybody to feel like they're a part of it, because they are. We all rock.
We've been graced with this exceptional puzzle that is the planet.
This summer, the Kilauea volcano started erupting.
What we were interested in was expanding our knowledge of the volcano into this domain that's hard to see.
It was the closest I think I'll ever be to seeing such a raw physical process happen in front of my eyes.
This is what we do at Western. We give undergraduates these hands-on research experiences.
This trip has opened my eyes to how incredible research can be. It changed my life.
I would summarize my experience at Western as I was a guarded, nerdy kid who loved to perform, who allowed herself to put in the time and effort to carve herself into something.
Junk in the trunk, junk
in the trunk, And whatever that was has led me to where I am right now, to be a fully realized woman. And I'm really thankful for the time and the effort that I put in for myself, because if I didn't do it, no one else was going to.
And welcome back to WECU Court on campus of Western Washington University for a very entertaining first set. Vikings take it 26-24. Let's go to Zen for some stats. Zen, take it away.
Yeah, and if you were to look at that first set, just stats, you would have thought that Fairbanks would have won this match potentially. They outkilled the Vikings. Their hitting percentage was better. Not by much. It was 256 to 250, but same thing. They had one more service ace than the Vikings, but then you look at the errors. Fairbanks, 9 errors to the Vikings 5, so those 4 points, really big difference makers in this match, and it's really what cost Fairbanks. We saw them, a lot of service errors, a couple miscues with the ball handling errors, some attack errors from both sides, and then Vikings just capitalized on it and came up clutch in that very long rally that we saw to end that first set. And the momentum is rolling here for both sides. They got to be hyped up after that one, as well as the crowd, and so are we, I'd say.
It has been a while since I've been that astonished by a rally, because there's usually a couple, 2 or 3 each game that are pretty good, but that may have been one of the best ones I've seen since doing play-by-play here at Western. So it was very awesome, and for those of you listening in, my voice did crack.
No shame.
Abby Bay with the serve here to start. Alaska Fairbanks starts out with a 1-0 lead.
So Fairbanks going back to what we saw earlier. Elizabeth Jackson starting it off for them. She's got 5 kills on the match.
Good serve to start. Aliaga kept lead. And a great placement by Kepley. We are tied here at 1.
Some great finesse from Gabby Kepley. Saw her with some hard hits earlier in that first set. Comes up with a small little tap to gain the point back.
And that is a great job by Kepley to keep them on their toes here. We all know she has the power, but sometimes being able to deke the other team is what's needed as Tupulalogo serves it well. Vikings now on the offensive. Ritzesender sends it through. I'm surprised that they got a block on that one. That was actually great timing by Fairbanks.
Vikings got to set up the free play and took advantage of it, although Fairbanks did do a good job getting up there. Just deflected off of them, and Ritzesender gets another kill in this match.
Elizabeth Jackson almost gets the block on that one, but on that serve, it goes long, so a service error by Lalogo, who had 2 or 3 great digs in that last rally, but I'm pretty sure everybody had 2 or 3 digs in that last rally of the first set. Back-to-back service errors by both teams, as that one was by Jessa Long, the freshman, so the Vikings are up 3-2.
No doubt about that one, whether it was in or not. Literally deflected off of our line judge back there.
Gunterman to serve for the Vikings. Also to dig it, Aliaga over to Heilborn, and another good dig by Jessa Long. On the attack, another lefty. Elena Guck goes for the kill, but that one's sent right back by the Vikings, and they're up 4-2.
It's Callie Heilborn right there.
And Heilborn showing she can do it all. Lalogo, Aliaga cross court over to Heilborn, and it looked from the first look at it by Aliaga that she set it pretty long, but a great adjustment by Heilborn.
Seems like Heilborn might have even just hit it with the side of her hand to keep it in bounds. It seemed like it was a great play by her.
Good dig by Lalogo, and then it was a great tap over by Aliaga. But on that attack error, Vikings are up 6-2 here.
Don't be fooled, though. We saw the Vikings up early as well in that first set. Let the Nanooks crawl back into it.
Vikings wiping off the court here. But the Vikings were up 14-7 in the first set. And Alaska Fairbanks actually had a lead at 23-22. Vikings end up taking the the first set, 26-24. As Gunterman's going to serve here. And that's a great block, and I think that was Aliaga and Ritzesender. Of course, Ritzesender usually there, but Aliaga, I think, got most of the ball here, and she did. Vikings up 7-2.
Good defense by both, but of course, when you see your setter getting up there, she's going to get the shine for that one, especially when she totally dominated that block. And she did it again.
And Aliaga also a really good overall player. She usually gets a couple blocks a game. Right there, she got an assist as Ritzesender puts it away, and the Vikings are up 8-2.
Some good effort by Gunderman to keep it in.
And we're going to go to a timeout on the floor. We're here in the second set. Vikings lead 1-0, and they lead in the second set 8-2. We'll be right back.
Compass to Campus is a beautiful reciprocal relationship that's really centered on how to support young students to see themselves in a different kind of way and see the possibilities for their future.
Allie was one of our first mentors. A lot of people have believed in me along the way, Allie being one of them. She's always inspired me. Now I'm at Western, actually going to college.
It's changing lives for the young students that we work with, and it's changing lives for the mentors who work with them.
And welcome back to WECU Court for this GNAP matchup between Alaska Fairbanks and Western Washington University. Vikings lead in this second set 8-2, and they took the first set 26-24. Right before the break, the Vikings were able to extend it to 6 here for the lead. That's a good dig by Gunterman. Good hustle by Woodruff, and Gunterman sends it over. That's good hustle to live another day for the Vikings. And that's another block. That time, that was Ritzesender at the net. Bounced right off her hand and right in there. You can see on this replay, Vikings in full control, up 9-2.
Ritzesender has 397 total blocks in her career. That ranks her 9th in WWU history. Potential, if not already, to hit 400.
As that one almost hit us, and I was not prepared.
It was aimed at me anyways, but
I knew they were aiming it at you. Point Alaska Fairbanks, they're down 6. And now serving it for Fairbanks is Taylor Overn, the senior from Portland, Oregon. Midway serve, right for the corner, Gunterman right there. Aliaga cross court to Heilborn, and Heilborn sends it into the middle. And Heilborn, we've seen it all season long. We've actually seen it for her entire Western Washington University career. Can just heat up at the snap of a finger.
You see the way she just wound that thing up. That was ridiculous. A really hard hit ball there.
And what's so impressive, it was so hard hit, but it was also right in the middle of the court where no one was at. And a great job by Fairbanks to bounce back. If they're going to get back into this second set, they need to string together some points here.
It was what looked like a weak hit right there from Christina Head, but they ended up getting the point on that.
They'll take any kind of point they can get. Heilborn goes for it again, and she gets it. Vikings up 11-4.
That one right there from Heilborn. Not as electric, but it gets the job done still, and she loves it.
She's now tied with Ritzesender for a game-high lead of 6 kills with a 500 hitting percentage. The only thing better than a 500 hitting percentage is a 751, and that's what Ritzesender has. As Maricic getting some playing time here the last few matches, taking full advantage of it. The senior with the kill, Vikings up 12-4. And Maricic now with 3 kills to her credit on 3 attempts, so she has a 1,000 hitting percentage as that one goes outside the antenna. So a point Vikings, and the Vikings up 13-4, riding that momentum from that last set. And Aliaga's going to serve.
Fairbanks trying to avoid the block party of Gabby Kepley right there on the outside edge.
Block party. I like it.
Ooh.
A little bit of miscommunication there by Fairbanks, and the Vikings are up by 10 now, 14-4.
Long took a rough tumble right there, but she seems to be all right.
And into the match for Fairbanks now to replace Christina Head is Janasia Carr, the junior from Yonkers, New York. Floated serve by Aliaga. She usually doesn't float her serves, but a great job by Riley White. Placed it perfectly, caught the Vikings out of position, and they're now down 9.
And it was Kinley Erickson right there with the diving save.
Carr now serving it. That one dug out by the senior. Out of system play. And 2 straight points. Ella Bynes, who had a really good first set. She gets her first kill of the second set, 5 overall. And Fairbanks with 2 straight points, down 8.
And Carr has been transferring all over the place. She started at Seattle University, went to Florida Southwestern State, and now at Alaska Fairbanks.
As Heilborn sends it through, she now has a sole lead of the game lead with 7 kills. and she's going to serve. Good dig again by Heilborn as Gunterman sends it through. So after 2 straight points by Fairbanks, Vikings bounce back with 2 straight points of their own. Gunterman with her second kill of the match to go along with 7 digs. Vikings up 10.
We're yet to see Gunterman really come out strong offensively for the Vikings. She's been in the back just digging it out, but comes in strong with that one and gains the point.
Fairbanks just has to hit it over. Aliaga over to Kepley, taps it over again, and great placement by Kepley. That's the second time this set we've seen her do that. Vikings up 11. We're going to go to a timeout on the floor. Fairbanks talking things over, trying to salvage this second set. We'll be right back. And welcome back. 17-6 Vikings lead here in the second set. Taking the first set 26-24. A crazy back and forth. Vikings with a big time lead in the first set. Fairbanks came back, actually took the lead, and the Vikings won with a memorable last rally to win. But this second set, it's been all Vikings. Out of system play here. Marisic going for her assist. Long over to Gynes. And that's a great dig, but a great job being right at the net by Elizabeth Jackson. So Fairbanks now down 10.
So if history is going to repeat itself here, in the last match between these two, the first set was the closest of them all. Second spaced it out a little more. Third became more close, and then the Vikings closed it out in the fourth one. So far, it's holding true in this game.
It almost did not, though, because Fairbanks had a 23-22 lead as Kepley goes for it. On the attack, gets it right through. Riley White. 2 straight points by Alaska Fairbanks. They're down 9.
Marisic unable to get the block as it deflected off of her.
On the attack, right at the net, it almost stuck on top of the net. I wonder if that's ever happened. Out of system play, Heilborn, but they're going to get her with the double hit. Usually when you see an out of system play to somebody kind of like Heilborn who doesn't have a whole lot of opportunities to set, you might every once in a while see a double hit, and that's what happened here. So 3 straight points for Fairbanks. Ainsley Smith with the serve. Aliaga over to Kepley. That one blocked right back. Elizabeth Jackson with the block.
And that's what she does best. Elizabeth Jackson leads the nation and GNAC with 103 total blocks. She's just been phenomenal for Fairbanks.
Smith with the serve here. Gunterman. Aliaga tapped over by Marisic, and she gets the kill. So Marisic, 4 kills to her credit. And she has actually a 1,000 hitting percentage on the night. 4 attempts, 4 kills. Vikings lead by 8.
It's very interesting to see Marisic out there for the Vikings. Not used to seeing her in her career so far. She only appeared in 9 matches when she was a sophomore. Appeared in just 3 matches when she was a junior. And she's making an impact here as a senior.
And Elizabeth Jackson sends it through. Fairbanks now down 7, and to go back to what you were saying, Zen, about Anna Marisic, not a whole lot of playing time, not a whole lot of match experience. But to her credit, sticking with the team, always being a great team player, and you never know when your number's going to get called. And it's been called the last 3 matches, and she's taken full advantage of it.
Yeah, next man up mentality, and she's really dominating and making a great impact for this team. I mean, Western being a senior-dominated team with very few freshmen on the bench, they went to their senior that they know they've had for a few years, and she's been taking full advantage of it. Vikings are definitely proud of her.
As that one goes through, Aliaga grabs the ball and doesn't know what to do with it, as Tupu Logo was the one who got the ace on that one, tapped on the top of the net. And Logo's going to serve again. That one's going to, thought was going to go long, but they actually went for it. And a good move right there as Carly Nielsen gets the kill. Fairbanks down 8.
No need to worry for Fairbanks there. I'm regretting if they should have kept that one in or not, because it got the point either way on the good attack.
Gunterman gets it through. Great placement by the senior. Vikings up 9. And Gunterman's going to serve here. 4 points away from taking this second set here. Crossed over. That one goes right into, does not go into net, goes over. And so it looks like Carr gets her first kill of the match, and Fairbanks is down 8.
Ritz Sender just unable to get the good block right there. Rare sight, but we've seen it a couple times this game for the Vikings.
Cross court, Heilborn deflected. Cross court, right there. I got a little scared there.
Thought someone was going to go diving into our table.
And a point for Fairbanks here as Ritza Center sends it wide. And let's see this replay. I just could not see what happened. And it definitely was wide. Official had a way better look at it than I did because I had no look at it.
Me as well.
But Ritza Center bounces right back. Sends it in this time. 22-14 as Casey Woodruff is going to serve for the Vikings.
Ritza Center so far already has 7 kills for the Vikings.
And she leads both teams with 9.5 points overall. Good placement and position. But Ella Bynes now, 6 kills to her credit, and Fairbanks down 7.
Gunterman did not give up on that play. She went diving into the Vikings bench to try and keep it alive. Wasn't able to, but it would have been a heck of a sight to see.
Looked like a slip and slide. Out of system play over to Heilborn as that one deflects and goes out of bounds. 23-15, Vikings lead as Kinsley Erickson comes in the match now for Alaska Fairbanks from North Pole. So there's 2 people from North Pole. Not the North Pole, the city North Pole. And a great job, Ella Bynes with the kill. She now ties Jackson with the team lead at 7 kills.
Quiet so far in this second set has been Ella Bynes. We saw her have a really good first set. Hasn't been as dominant so far.
And great placement by Heilborn. Right in the middle of the court, no man's land. This is going to be set point again as Heilborn's going to serve. And that's how this set is going to end, on an ace. So not as close of a second set as it was on the first. The Vikings lead 2-0. When we come back, it's going to be set number 3. We'll be right back.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
It's important that what I do as a job is something that I find meaningful. I ended up applying to the cybersecurity program at Western. The aspects of the program that really stand out to me is the hands-on experience.
Being able to work interdisciplinary and bring cybersecurity to marine science, bring it to communications, bring it to everything, is what really makes it interesting.
When I learned about the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund, it was this large sum of money for students to make Western a more sustainable campus. I was in the rec center just kind of thinking about this. People are working out super tough, and all this kinetic energy is wasted. I found out that there were products there on the market that would generate energy for Wade King Rec Center, and just wrote the application for the grant.
It's not about generating the electricity in order to feed electrons back into the grid. It's really about educating students. Making that bridge between theory and practice is really key to what we do at Western.
And welcome back as we see Victor E. Viking dancing. I don't even know how to describe that dancing, but it's kind of like running, I guess. I don't know. That was my go-to move. Fun fact for everybody listening here, Zen and I are both former Victor E. Vikings. And I think we all probably danced the same.
I've seen that move many a times because I was doing it as well. So it's the go-to and you don't really know. You just roll it out, you know?
It's all about keeping the beat. But for those of you just tuning in, Vikings lead 2-0. They won the first set 26-24, took the second set right before the break 25-16. Zen is going to go over some stats from the first two sets. Zen, take it away.
Yeah, so in that first set, of course, we knew that was a phenomenal set from both sides. But in the second set, Vikings really just came out and dominated. I mean, their hitting percentage was a .519, which is absolutely insane compared to their season average, which is a .230, and they outkilled the Fairbanks. The Fairbanks Nanooks, they had more attack errors, and it was just all Vikings for that. On the game right now, we have Vikings out hitting percentage with a .365 for the whole game, that is, and they're out killing the Fairbanks by just 2, and the errors are just – the Fairbanks are making way too many errors for this Viking squad, and it's really what's costed them so far. I mean, so far for the Vikings, we've had Ridsa Sender all over the court. Callie Halborn, she leads the team with 9 kills this game. Elizabeth Jackson for the Nanooks, she's been dominating so far. We saw her continue that. Ella Bynes slowed down for them. We saw Jessa Long try and play some good defense there, but it was all Vikings. We didn't have many long rallies, that was, and coming into this third set, Vikings are looking to sweep it here. They've won 30 straight matches in Carver Gymnasium coming into this game, and they are one set away from extending that.
And we're going to start this third set here in this extended break. As you can see, for those of you listening in or actually watching, this is what we look like.
Face cam exposed.
I didn't sign up for this.
We're used to being more of radio-type broadcasters.
I would have combed my hair.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. Kind of a humble brag, though, right? No, Sean, you don't need to comb your hair. Thanks, guys.
No warning given. They're doing us dirty up there.
Yeah. I don't blame them, though. This was long overdue.
True.
This is also what happens when we come back from break with 3 minutes to go.
Just waiting to get it going here from both sides. They're both out on the court, though, so hopefully we're going to get it rolling here as Fairbanks going to serve.
Yes, let's show volleyball. And we are back at it. Taylor Overn served to start. Great job by Aliaga to save it. And Ella Bynes with the kill. She now leads the Nanooks with kills at 8 with a hitting percentage of .667, and Fairbanks up 1-0.
She's looking to come alive in this third set after a quiet second one.
Aliaga over to Ritzesender. She sends it through, and we're tied here at 1. And Zen, Fairbanks has won the first point in all 3 sets so far, and yet they're down 2-0.
Yeah, to no avail. I mean, they're unable to capitalize. We saw them in the first set give it away on the errors. Second set, can't really recall what happened to the Vikings pulling away, but right here we got the logo, and that's always a good sign for the Vikings.
Well, just like a lot of teams in the GNAC, Fairbanks is a very young team, a lot of underclassmen, so they're going to be very good here in the future. They're already pretty good, to their credit, but they're just going to get better and better, and so the Vikings trying to take advantage of that youth and maybe some of that youth lack of experience when it comes down to errors.
If you look at the Nanooks roster, it's just Maureen Angeli and Taylor Overn who are seniors, and we haven't really seen them be the starters today.
Overn started this third set serving, but we're going to see a lot of the same people we have seen when it comes down to athletes in the GNAC here in or at WECU Court for years to come. Vikings kind of on the opposite scale as they block Ritzesender and Gunterman right there. Vikings are up 4-1 now. Vikings with 9 seniors to their 2. Tupulalogo, one of those seniors, out of Federal Way. Knuckles it over. On the attack as it goes way long. 5-1 Vikings lead. Starting out well. Fairbanks on a 1, winning the first point. Vikings on a 5-0 run since.
And looking at Vikings 6 out there right now, those are all seniors. And even some of the players we've seen today, Marisic, she's a senior. We've seen Abby May, Gabby Kepley in this game. They're the young ones. Devin Ostrich made an appearance against Simon Fraser in their last outing, but old team for the Vikings, trying to mix in some youth as they go.
Coach Diane Flick-Williams always does a great job of recruiting. Only in the state of Washington. But rest assured, the underclassmen that may not have a whole lot of playing time this year will be ready to play next year. But they might be playing teams that are a little bit more experienced, as these girls on the court here were all freshmen at one point. Gunterman on the squad that actually made it to the championship match. for Division II back in 2018.
And with Flick Williams, she's in her 23rd season. Vikings as a whole program just hit 1,000 wins. Flick Williams is 1 win short of 500 coming into this game, so a possibility to get it here.
Vikings up 7-2 as Gunterman is going to serve here. You can see on this replay, that's good timing. Good hustle by Fairbanks, unable to get it through. Vikings on this match have a .394 hitting percentage. That's a great dig again. 50-50 ball, Aliaga right there, but kind of followed through, hit the net. You can see it shaking. Fairbanks now down 4. Carr's going to serve, the junior from Yonkers. The transfer from Florida Southwestern State. As Heilborn sends it through. She now has 11 kills to her credit, leading both teams. Second is Ritzesender with 9.
Seems like so far in these last 2 sets, Nanoks have just been unable to answer that Viking attack. We've seen them play really good offense before and defense in the first set, and it's just slowed down for them, and the Vikings are just dominating so far.
And Aliaga dumps it over. She gets the kill. Aliaga now with 3 kills to her credit. Go along with 28 assists and 2 digs and 3 block assists. And the Vikings are in full control here in this third set. Vikings up 9-3 as we go to a timeout. We'll be right back.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
And welcome back to WECU Court. Coming out of the timeout, Vikings up 9-3. They lead 2-0. Vikings in full control here in this third set. Fairbanks bounces back from the timeout with a point here. They're trying to keep this match going.
Yeah, much needed point right there coming out of a timeout. Trying to shift the game their way as in this third set. They stole the third set last time these teams faced off, so Fairbanks trying to repeat it here and stick in this game.
That one is in. So 2 straight points coming out. Let's see this replay. It looked out from my point of view, but definitely in there. And that's why I will say it again, I am not an official.
Yeah, good call by them.
Aliaga over to Marisic, sends it through. That one is blocked. Out of system play. Tapped over. Heilborn right there for the dig. Aliaga over to Gunterman, and that's a great block, so 3 straight points, as that one was blocked by Elizabeth Jackson.
Elizabeth Jackson, third in the GNAC with 1.26 blocks per set. Gets it going there.
As that one goes long. So tough break for Fairbanks. And I'm not going to lie. If I was Brian Jackson on this one, I would. Sorry, not Brian Jackson. Brian Scott. I would challenge that one. But to no avail. Even if you weren't sure, maybe to get back in and steal a point.
You have them. Why not use them?
Well, you don't get to bring them home, and I say this every time. I've tried. On the attack, and that one's blocked and sent right back. 11-6. As you can see on this replay, great timing at the net. Maricic and Kepley. Kepley getting a lot of it there, but Maricic now. With her first block assist. Elizabeth Jackson with the kill. Nanook's now down 4. Aliaga's right there. But a good job by Jackson to send it through. Heilborn sends it through this time. And Heilborn just having a great match offensively. She now leads both squads in overall points and kills. And even though she doesn't technically lead in hitting percentage, for the amount that she's attacked, 571 is pretty incredible. As Jackson hits it into the net, so 4 hits. Vikings up 13-7.
Miscue from Jackson right there. She's been really successful for the Nanooks so far this game. A rare miss we've seen from her, with her hitting percentage being over 600 so far in the match.
And Heilborn gets her second ace of the match. And Heilborn just having a great overall match. What's surprising is she doesn't have as many digs as she normally does, but she's making up for it with good serving and fantastic attacks at the net.
She's also just having a great time out there, her little dance after the ace.
Somebody that you can tell definitely loves playing and loves being out there with her teammates. That one goes wide, and Fairbanks now down 6. And Jessa Long is going to serve. Midway serve. No rotation. Gunterman right there. Aliaga, the give and go. Right off the side. Dug out. On the attack. And that's a great block, and Maricic is right there. It's going to be shared by Gunterman, but usually we go off the reactions of the teammates and the replay that we end up eventually seeing. Usually the one that gets the majority of that hit is the one that people celebrate. People were celebrating Maricic on that one. Abby May in the match now, the serve, and that's another good serve by May. And that is blocked back. Heilborn this time, and Gunterman. Oh, my apologies. Ritzesender. I got too excited. Ritzesender now with 7 block assists, though. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, a phenomenal game from her. She had 6 individual blocks against Simon Fraser, so she's on a hot streak for her defensive blocks.
And Abby May gets a service ace to her credit. It is all Vikings right now, and there's going to be another timeout on the floor. As the Vikings lead by 9, they're 8 points away from sweeping here at home. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court, campus of Western Washington University, for this GNAC battle between the Vikings and the Nanooks of Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings up 2-0 in full control of this third set, up 17-8.
Abby May's back there. She's got 3 service aces in the game already.
Abby May right there for the dig. Aliaga over to Kepley. And that is a great block. Another bounce back from the timeout.
So that's the second time we've seen in this set that Fairbanks comes out of a timeout and gains the point. They haven't shown that same sense of urgency and offense that they had back in the first set to climb back into the match, and Vikings are just holding on to a solid lead throughout these last 2 sets.
And unfortunately for Fairbanks, with that first set being a devastating loss for them, they just have not been able to get it going since. And this could have been a different match altogether if they would have won that first set. Gunterman sends it through, but they are not going to go down lightly here. As you can see, anytime in volleyball, you get on a run, anything can happen.
And that was a really strong set for Alaska Fairbanks. They seem to be trying to hold on to this game as much as they can. They showed flashes of what we've seen earlier and performing well right there.
Well, they were down 14-7, came back and had a 23-22 lead. And even though they lost that first set, they were very close to winning it, or at least extending it with that long rally, as we're going to see a pancake attempt that was called. It looks like the pancake attempt looks like it wasn't successful on the court, but Coach Brian Scott's going to challenge this one. This one's going to be a little bit tough to see, as that's one of the harder things to overturn.
Yeah, not sure if we're going to see an overturn here. We saw one earlier back in the first set that was really clutched by Brian Scott, getting that challenge successful for his team, kept them in that one. This one, I don't think it's going to be a similar story as we have the review. Too hard to tell, I'd say, from the angle to have enough evidence to overturn it.
But like mentioned earlier, you don't get to bring these home, so you might as well use them. You don't get penalized for using them. And let's see what they call. And the call on the court stands, and you'll see the replay here. And it looks like it did hit the court.
I agree.
Good hustle, though, by Fairbanks. Still incredibly impressive. These athletes can do that and know when to do it and know how to have their hands placed perfectly to do so.
I'm impressed every time I watch volleyball. I mean, just being able to dig out some of those hits that we see from both sides is just ridiculous to me. And then you add pancakes and diving plays like that we just saw. That could not be me out there.
As Ella Bynes gets the kill, she now has 10 kills to her credit, and Bynes having a very, very efficient, very good match to her credit. She has 10 kills to go along with a hitting percentage of .667. Really taking advantage of the ones that she does get. As that one is in there, Gunterman sends it to the corner. Erickson comes in the match now to replace Nielsen for Fairbanks. Gunterman's going to serve. Got all seniors on the court for the Vikings. Good serve by Gunterman. And that's a double hit.
Good
by
call.
Auvergne. Vikings up by 9.
Yeah, when you see that ball giving an odd rotation, you can obviously see that there's a double hit, one hand reached there before the other.
On the attack. So point Fairbanks.
And although Fairbanks have been finding themselves getting points here, it's really just been back and forth, 1 point to each side, and that continues. The Vikings will still win this game close to 8, but they get the point right there, so maybe a change.
And if anything, Fairbanks, they definitely want to get a little bit of momentum going into their next match here. Tapped over. Great timing by the Nooks on that one. Another good rally here. That one's sent long. Asked for the deflection. Doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Story of the game for the Nanooks so far has been either their attacks are getting blocked at the net by the Vikings or they're sending them long. So they need to find that middle ground, finding that open court. And it's looks like Brian Scott's going to challenge this one. I mean, you said you can't come home with them. I mean, I don't know how close that one was, but we're going to see, I guess, if it's disputable right here.
Oh, without a doubt. With that being said, this should be a 5-second challenge. So join us on Saturday as the Vikings take on 9th-ranked Alaska Anchorage here at WECU Court, and this is a ginormous match here because if the Vikings pull out this victory here tonight, it is likely that whoever wins the match on Saturday is in the driver's seat to host regionals in the middle of November. Anchorage has hosted in the last 10 years. The Vikings have hosted in the last 10 years. Cal State San Bernardino has a few times, actually. Last time the Vikings hosted, going back to 2018, Vikings beat Cal State San Bernardino in a 5-set victory that was one of the best matches you'll ever see. Vikings winning the 5th set 15-12. As this point will stand just like we thought. But he's not going to even try to bring those home. I normally try. As that one goes long. And honestly, that would look like more of a deflection than the one he challenged on. But to no avail here as the Vikings have a 22-13 lead. As Woodruff goes to serve here. And a great job, Elizabeth Jackson, now with 9 kills. And between her and Bynes, 9 kills for Jackson and 10 kills for Bynes. They both have pretty impressive hitting percentages. As Jackson has a .615 hitting percentage, Bynes has a .563.
I think if there's one thing that the Nanooks are going to take home after this match against the Vikings is that they know they have a good future with these 2 hitters coming off the outside edges for them. They've played really well. Just got to try and limit those errors, and we might see a different Fairbanks team next time they match up against the Vikings.
You can see Gunterman. Great placement. Vikings 2 points away from taking this match here in straight sets.
And Diane Flick-Williams, 2 points away from that 500.
That one goes long. So what we saw in this match, Zen, though, is that Fairbanks is definitely going to be a team to reckon with in the future, as they showed in the first set. But credit goes to the Vikings to take it out, send it through, as Jackson now in double digits with 10 kills. And they're now down 9. But the Vikings avoiding a first set loss after having that big lead. But since then, they've been in full control.
I think it's what really shifted the entire game. I mean, we saw 2 teams competing very hard, and that's going to be it right there.
And Heilborn ends with 13 kills. And congratulations to Coach Diane Flick-Williams, win number 500. She has built this program into being a powerhouse. A program that, Zen, you had mentioned earlier, has been in the top 10 on numerous occasions. 2 times runner-up for the national championship. Handful of times in the Final Four and Elite 8.
Seems like all the Vikings know it, really giving Diane Flick-Williams. They announce it on the PA as well.
As Vikings are celebrating here, Coach Diane Flick-Williams win number 500. In an amazing career as a coach. Someone who is loved by her players, loved by the community. Take it from us too, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Very, very nice, very generous, very competitive, because you can't win 500 games if you're not competitive. You're not going to have 500 wins. But nobody you'd like to see win 500 more than Diane Flick-Williams, and it's good to see her celebrate with her teammates, family, and friends out on the court. Zen, let's go over some stats here from the match for Coach Diane Flick-Williams' 500th win.
Yeah, her Vikings really showed out today. I mean, they had a phenomenal game. Aside from that first set, they really dominated. They had a .337 hitting percentage for 39 kills for the team. It was all from the Vikings. It was Callie Halborn and Chloe Ritz, center, of course. We saw Gunterman get her fair share of stuff out on that court right there. We saw Gunterman also playing defense, digging it out right there. Abby May with the service aces, and of course, Malia Aliaga dishing out the assist as usual, as well as 3 kills of her own. So Vikings really showed out and claimed this 500th win for Diane Flick-Williams here at home. They extend that streak to 31 straight matches, one in Carver Gymnasium, as they look to close out this second half of the GNAC schedule strong. Big one coming on Saturday, though, for them for sure.
Yes, join us Saturday as the Vikings take on 9th-ranked Alaska Anchorage. Vikings lost in straight sets earlier this season to Alaska Anchorage. And the winner of that will be in a driver's seat to potentially host regionals at their respective schools. But I'm Sean Church alongside Zen Hill. Vikings win in straight sets. Again, congratulations to Coach Diane Flick-Williams on win number 500. Have a good night.